Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2. Today I wanted to do a little tour of the Las Cinco Muertes 2.0 parks that I made previously. There are individual videos of each park on the channel, as well as little mini previews on the shorts, YouTube shorts of each one. So first, let's start with Isla, and Saros. These were all made in Sandbox, and you can see I used the Isla Sorna Site B map to recreate Isla, and Saros. Okay, we're back at quote-unquote Isla and Saros. I really liked the Las Cinco Muertes campaign in the first Jurassic World Evolution game. I'm excited that it looks like in Jurassic World Evolution 3 the main campaign looks to be a lot like the original campaign in Jurassic World Evolution 2. The base campaign was a little short, and then the Chaos Theories were pretty cool. I did like those, but I think in general I'm pretty excited to have a more traditional, old-school kind of build, a bunch of 5-star parks across the world kind of deal. But anyway, this park is meant to kind of be kind of basic and small, like how Isla and Saros was. You don't really get any particularly troublesome dinosaurs on this map in the original campaign. And the highlight dinosaurs are, you get Struthiomimus really early, that's the first dinosaur you hatch, followed by, I think, either Triceratops or Edmontosaurus is next. I think it maybe depends on which missions you picked. And then Ceratosaurus. Those are like the 4 key dinosaurs on that map. One thing that I tried to implement was I tried to have at least one flying and one aquatic creature featured per map, and so I tried to kind of have the unlocks fit the theme of the park. So for Isla and Saros, I had the easiest, safest flying reptile, Dimorphodon, and the smallest, most kind of basic, easiest aquatic reptile, the Ichthyosaurus. So, and then the rest of the maps will kind of reflect that theme. We've got the original Ceratosaurus. This cosmetic is still one of the best Ceratosaurus skins in the game, in my opinion. But I think there's a really cool looking blue one around here somewhere. Let's see if we can find the blue Ceratosaurus real quick. There's the goat. And I don't see them. We'll come back and look for them later. Here is the Dimorphodon aviary. They are really tiny. You have to get really up close to see them pretty reasonably well. You also might have noticed that I chose the Jurassic Park theming for this island. I think the rest of them I built in more of the Jurassic World, more modern-looking aesthetic. That was just kind of a random choice that I made. We also have Draco Rex here. That was another kind of exciting unlock that you got on the first map, a Jurassic World Evolution 1 original. I kind of learned after the fact I don't need to put down the foliage for literally the entire paddock, because the long grass is actually pretty big and you can't see some of the smaller dinosaurs. These parks were also the first time that I actually spent time with all of the new sandbox tools. It was really neat, and I hope that as the islands go on, I do kind of feel like my parks got a little bit more interesting looking. We'll see if y'all agree with that or not. This wing of the park has the first lagoon with the ichthyosaurus, so let's take a quick dive in here. There they are. Like I said, I thought it matched the kind of intro island gig that Madame Saros has to have these more basic, easy to manage creatures here. He's got a snack right there. And then if you look, it is flanked around on all sides by this very large enclosure that has the Huayangosaurus, as well as Mamenchisaurus. I realized later that Mamenchisaurus is technically, I think it's technically unlocked on Isla Sorna, but what I tried to do is have like one big or large-ish sauropod per map, and so for me, Isla Sorna was like a Patasaurus zone, right? I put a Patasaurus, and I ended up putting Dreadnoughtus on Isla Sorna, which I also think is technically wrong, because I think Dreadnoughtus was unlocked somewhere else, but either way, that's how I ended up building the parks, so there's got this one Huayangosaurus is really far away from all the other ones, but that's that. But yeah, we got our two Mamenchisaurus and this really nice big water area over here. And then lastly, there's the little Proceratosaurus pen. They are in here somewhere. These little guys, very colorful little carnivores. There's some more. I actually tried to kind of simulate the sexual dimorphism in some of the enclosures, so like I would try to put like one really colorful one, and that would be, you know, hypothetically that'd be the male if we're assuming that dinosaurs were kind of more like modern birds, and then the rest of them were more kind of like basic or monotone looking. Here's a really... The Proceratosaurus has some of the best cosmetics, in my humble opinion, although there's other small carnivores that I kind of like a little bit more personally. And lastly, the main exhibit is going to be on the other side of the island. Oh, actually, don't let me forget. We've got our Crichtonsaurus over here as well. That was another Matanceros unlock. Right over here, next to the Ceratosaurus pen. I forgot how small and cute these guys are, especially in comparison to some of the larger ankylosaurs. These guys are really small, chunky, and cute. I saw one there. Here's one we can get a better view of. Look at that guy. One thing, kind of a random note, I actually think that if you're using capture mode like I am right now, it is way smoother to navigate around the island using a controller compared to mouse and keyboard. I play the game on PC now, but whenever I'm in capture mode and trying to film, I use a controller because it's way smoother for me. Anyway, the last section of the park has all of the remaining original heavy hitters, or from the first Matanceros park, so it's going to be Triceratops, Edmontosaurus, and Struthiomimus, all three of them. are in this nice big safari zone area. Where are they? Here. We've got the original kind of watermelon color Montosaurus, the Triceratops. There's the Jurassic Park Triceratops. And where's the Struthies? I haven't seen any of them. There's at least one. Alright, there we go. That kind of sums up the first island. Like I said, it's meant to be kind of the more basic intro-y kind of island, so, and there weren't all that many species that you unlocked. Let's head on over to Isla Muerta, which I believe I used the Isla Nublar 1993 map for. Alright, welcome back to quote-unquote Isla Muerta. So this is where you would normally load in for that Isla Nublar map with the waterfall in the back, and when you're doing the Chaos Theory, I think the entrance is like right here. That is not what I did for my version of the map. This is actually where I put the Velociraptor paddock. It's very isolated in this back area. We will get to that last, I think. Let's start with where I put the entrance, which is way over here. One thing that I forgot to do in my video is I forgot to put on rainstorms or thunderstorms in the background, because Isla Muerta was where you first started to have like actual severe weather to contend with. So I at least have it raining now. I think if I turn on rainstorms, it will be really loud and you won't be able to hear anything. So that's the best I can do at the moment. So here's where I put my entrance, monorail really quickly. And right off the bat, I tried a little harder to make some nice shopping or plaza areas with this map. I definitely spent a little more time with the decorations. By no means am I a park builder connoisseur. But I did spend a little more time trying to make things look nicer. So first things first, you have this tiny little Compsognathus paddock right here with the invisible fence. These guys are so small. I really hope it'd be really nice to get like some smaller fences that can get way closer to the path in Jurassic World Evolution 3. But either way, I think this still definitely works, although unless you have like a hotel or something nearby, I don't know if the guests can technically see these, even though they do, when they're walking by, a lot of them do like tilt their heads and look into the enclosure, but I don't know if they count on like your visibility score or not. So that's kind of the first enclosure here. Then right next to it we've got the lagoon, which has a pair of Dunkleosteus in it. Let's see where they are. Here's one. Is he about to go in for the shark? I think he might be. Let's wait here a second. about to see it. Just a second. Very nice, very nice. Right on time. Thank you for your cooperation. Yeah, very, very cool prehistoric animal to have in here. Like I said, I wanted to have at least one aquatic and one flying per park. So I chose Dunkleosteus for Isla Muerta. Let's see, let's head over this way. It's been a while. I kind of forget the layout of this. It looks like, yeah, I made a big gyrosphere ride, and I think we've got a lot in here. If I recall, we have Iguanodon, Alamosaurus, Styracosaurus, and Corythosaurus, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm recording this on like September 26th. I have a bad feeling that Alamosaurus is probably not going to make the cut into the base roster of Jurassic World Evolution 3, just because they've added Patagotitan. I'm sure it'll be added in later at some point, but I just have a feeling it's not going to make it into the base team. Corythosaurus. Very nice, giant exhibit of kind of a little river in the middle. Got some more Iguanodon down here. And I think that's everything in this enclosure. And then if I remember correctly, I think I saw the aviary, which I think has Geosternbergia in it, if I recall. Pretty sure that's who I picked. Let's head on over there. So yeah, this is way back over here, and you got this nice little pathway leading up to... These decorations are cool, but no matter what, they always say Pteranodon, but I still included them because I thought they looked cool. Yes, I'm pretty sure this is Geosternbergia. Very cool, colorful, flying reptiles. I'm really looking forward to being able to have them walk around. I'll be honest, I didn't even realize it at first that they don't walk. They have to fly literally everywhere. I did not, that didn't even like compute in my brain until yeah, I don't know, it's just something that I didn't even realize that they don't fly, or sorry, they don't walk. They have to fly everywhere. So anyway, very cool, colorful creatures. And then I think we have another big herbivore enclosure over here. So we're back at the entrance area. There's a neat little path going over to, there's Mr. DNA and Spino with a little arcade or some sort of guest attraction, the monorail, and then here we've got, let's see, it looks like we've got Chunkingosaurus in here. We've got Amargasaurus in here. I think Ankylosaurus is in here. And that might be it. It might just be those three. Amargasaurus is another one that at this time I don't think has been confirmed, which that would be kind of weird if that one doesn't make it in, because it was one of the kind of like the highlight new additions for Jurassic World Evolution 2. But they do seem to be giving a lot of preference to the film canon creatures. Ankylosaurus is so cool, man. Look at this blue dude over here. Such a cool dinosaur. Anyway, Amargasaurus hasn't been confirmed on the roster yet, but I feel like that, I don't know, I feel like that one's, if I had to guess, I would think that Amargasaurus will make it because it's very unique. The game does not have very many smaller-ish sauropods, so they need more of those, not to take away some of them. Yeah, as you can see, this kind of goes all the way down and around, and then there's a neat little elevated viewing dome over here. I don't think there's actually any dinosaurs over here at the moment, but oh well. So the monorail goes all the way around, and there's a checkpoint over here. We've got a really nice big like hotel plaza zone. Another set of restaurants with some more seating and whatnot. Some more Jurassic Park banners. And then, so you have the choice to go that way, and that's where the Velociraptors are. We will go there last. The other chunk of the island you can choose. We have Baryonyx. There's a nice elevated viewing area with some Spinosaur skulls. And we have this very, very water-filled enclosure for Baryonyx. Let's see if we can find them. Where are they? It's never good when you can't find your dinosaurs in your dinosaur park. There's one. I'm pretty sure I picked the Chaos Theory skins just because I think that they really help the Baryonyx. There they are. Baryonyx is just very okay to me. Not my favorite Jurassic Park design of a dinosaur. I like the Suchomimus a lot more. But these three Camp Cretaceous skins help a lot. I like Baryonyx as a dinosaur, I don't mean it that way. The Jurassic World design that they went with is not my favorite adaptation of a dinosaur into the film canon is all. But I do like these three Camp Cretaceous skins. It looks like Barry is going to get some food. We're going to follow the monorail down to this other cool section. It's neat how there's a lot of elevation change here. You can actually see the monorail is going downward a decent bit. And this is all a bunch of carnivores down here. And I will start with, we've got another pavilion area for the guests. Very nice, nothing too crazy. And some more just fossils. I cannot wait to have more of these decorations. It will be so cool to be able to kind of personalize each area of the park instead of, having the T-Rex skeleton is really cool, but it'll be really nice to have way more to pick from in terms of decorations. Let's start, there's basically these three very large exhibits all connected to each other, but they're all separated. Our first one is the Dilophosaurus paddock, which is kind of swampy with it's got the log viewing zone. I think I picked, this is the, I'm pretty sure that one's the Dominion Dilophosaurus. That is a really cool cosmetic. It looks really good. Just going to get a drink. If I remember correctly, this one also resembles the Operation Genesis Dilophosaurus a lot. At least if I remember correctly anyway. I'm not sure if the frill was that red in the JPOG version. Here's another really cool looking Dilophosaurus. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so next is Allosaurus, which I think is another... I don't think I needed to put Allosaurus on Isla Muerta, but I did. And then let's see, I know I've got the Dominion variant here. Super cool looking dude. And I know I've got some of the Frontier slash Fallen Kingdom variant. I actually really like both. I genuinely hope that both make it into Evolution 3. Very cool blue and orange colors we've got going on with this Allosaurus. I thought there were 3 in here. Am I gonna see the third one? Doesn't seem that way. And lastly, we've got the Carcharodontosauruses. There's 2 of them in here. Another pretty cool dinosaur that has not yet been confirmed for Evolution 3. I'm kind of, not gonna lie, I'm kind of hoping that they redesign the Carcharodontosaurus and maybe reintroduce it later. I have never been big on this design for this dinosaur, and honestly it's mainly just the kind of unicorn spike at the top of its head is not my favorite. And I also I've always viewed Carcharodontosaurus as having more pronounced crests above its eyes and down its nose. I actually like mostly everything else about it. It's just the unicorn spike and the lack of the, like, kind of distinctive crests. I honestly, ironically think that the InGen Giganotosaurus looks more like a Carcharodontosaurus than this Carcharodontosaurus does. So, anyway, time for the final creature on Isla Muerta, and that's going to be the Velociraptors. I had a poll on the channel, and people voted for the Tiger Raptors from the Lost World, which I kind of agreed with, especially since Isla Muerta had that kind of dusk color palette, if you will. Everything was orange, so having the orange raptors was kind of a neat way to complement that. So yeah, it's kind of neat because I feel like you're going into this very secluded area of the park with the waterfall in the background, and you're greeted with the ominous, foreboding concrete walls and the Velociraptor sign. This back area here is probably, of all, this might be the best exhibit that I think I made when I redid all these islands. This is probably the one that I'm most proud of. I think just because it's isolated, it's the Velociraptors and the waterfalls in the background. I liked all those features coming together. Plus, the Raptors get their own special, unique kind of decoration with the security outpost in here. Not all the other... They're pretty much the only dinosaur that gets that special, unique decoration. Plus, the Tiger Raptors just look so cool. I don't know which Velociraptor cosmetic is my personal favorite. The Tiger Raptors have to be a contender. But I think it's, if we're just going like on straight up objective favorite, it's really hard to beat the Jurassic Park 3 Raptors. I think those might be my favorite, with these in second. And then the original Jurassic Park Raptors, I really like those too, even though they're the most basic. I still really like those. Alright, that kind of concludes Isla Muerta. This was one of my favorite islands in the campaign to build on. Although the undulation was kind of a pain, but it kind of made building and dealing with it kind of fun and interesting. So, next up is Isla Tucano. Let's see, which island did I use to make that one? It looks like I used the Germany sandbox to make Isla Tucano, so let's head there next. Okay, welcome back to Isla Tucano. We've got this island in Jurassic World Evolution 1. This was the island where you first unlocked some of the really big ticket dinosaurs. You got the T-Rex and the Brachiosaurus in that game. So those dinosaurs are featured here, but I kept the theme of getting the big ticket creatures for the aquatic and the flying reptiles as well. So this is where I chose to put the Mosasaurus, which you can see right here, and also the Quetzalcoatlus, which we will go there next. But let's kind of backtrack to the start. This was also kind of... I felt like this island was supposed to be like the one that was most fancy and most like a resort, so I tried to make things look a little nicer. I definitely tried a little harder on my decoration skills for this one, so we'll see if y'all agree or whatever. Anyway, this is my entrance point here, and it's basically... This is the Germany map, which kind of looks like a glove with like or an oven mitt with like two fingers on the sides. So there's the main giant middle chunk, and then two kind of skinnier sections on the left and right. Let's go this way first, to the Jurassic Tour. So one of the little like side areas of the park I made into an outdoor, no aviary zone for the Quetzalcoatlus, which is something I didn't know you could do. I'm not using any mods here. This was inspired by one of Evolution Square's videos where she was showing how, I think for the Isla Sorna map, the smaller one that I made Matt and Saros 2.0 on, there's a kind of a sequestered area, and as long as you give them enough space and don't put any of the feeders or the water near the exit, the Quetzalcoatlus tend to kind of just not leave. And so far I haven't had any problems. And yeah, I mean, they have a giant area here, and it definitely looks better than having them fly around in the aviaries. The Quetzalcoatlus is just too big to look natural flying in an aviary. I'm hopeful that having them be able to walk around will make it look a little more natural in Jurassic World Evolution 3. But for now, this was the best way that I could think of exhibiting the Quetzalcoatlus, and so the guests still can see them, because there's a Jurassic Tour ride that comes through here. Plus, this is a sandbox park, so as long as they can quote-unquote see them, it doesn't really matter if they have 100% visibility at all times. That's probably the most unique thing that I did. The Velociraptor is probably my favorite exhibit, and the Quetzalcoatlus outdoor area is probably the most unique thing that I did. I mean, it's kind of basic, it's just kind of the concept is cool, but the paddock itself isn't anything overly special. Let's go over this way next, because all the big ticket items, big ticket dinosaurs are all over this way. We'll save that for last. Let's go this way, take the monorail. This is kind of, well, you can take the monorail, but actually this is meant to be like a walking trail. That's right, I kind of forgot. So if you take this is the other kind of narrow side area, so it's meant to be kind of like a hiking trail, so to speak. So it keeps going out that way, and there's multiple exhibits out there. But the first one you come across is the Herrerasaurus, which you can, there's this viewing dome that you can see them from. And it's kind of just a nice basic little enclosure. Nothing too crazy. Looks like that one's trying to get the goat. Is it gonna... Yikes. Got him. So yeah, that's our first dinosaur on the little walking trail zone. You keep going. Like I said, because this is a sandbox park, I don't need to worry about like transportation scores. So in Evolution 3, we'll be able to, supposedly, it looks like we'll be able to actually do like a nature trail. So we'll actually be able to have like a dirt pathway to kind of simulate an actual nature walk. So that'll be cool. That would definitely kind of add to the atmosphere here. But I went with the really basic kind of dirt-looking path to kind of get that across, and use the invisible fences. Let's see, here I'm pretty sure we've got Torosaurus, Maiasaura, and Stygimoloch, which were all Isla Tucano unlocks. You know what's weird? I've grown to like the Maiasaura, even though it's got the weird eyebrows. I just like that it's different. A lot of the other ones kind of have this very kind of smooth, they all kind of start to look the same after a while, and the Maiasaura does not suffer from that. The other one that I really like, I mean, Parasaurolophus is always a favorite, and the Edmontosaurus is another favorite among the hadrosaurs. But yeah, no, I used to be not a big fan of the Maiasaura for the same reason everyone else is, but now I've come to like it more. Torosaurus has some of the most underrated skins of the ceratopsids in this game. I mean, look at this pattern. This dude looks so cool. The dark and blue and the orange. But yeah, so anyway, this is kind of just like a nice big walking area. I have these much smaller, more basic amenities out here with kind of the picnic tables instead of the big plaza stuff. and they can sit and eat and look out and watch the dinosaurs. So pretty neat, in my humble opinion. And then if you keep going, you hit the end of the road here, and there's this little circular area, and you can look down into the Deinonychus enclosure. You got Deinonychus on Isla Tucano. I'll be completely honest, for a while I was okay with the Deinonychus looking the way it is, and now I'm kind of like, this dude looks a little silly. Probably not. I think it's probably just because we have so many raptors in the game now. We've got the Utah Raptor, Pyroraptor. What else? Australovenator. I guess that's technically a Megaraptor, but... And then a Troceraptor. And plus the Velociraptors all have really cool skins. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the Deinonychus model that they chose, but it's probably gonna be... If I had to... It's on my list of Raptors... That one would probably be my last pick, unfortunately. Even though Deinonychus does have some really cool cosmetics, I really like this kind of neon purple it's got going on. So it does have that going for it. Alright, let's head back to the main chunk of the island. So we already saw the Mosasaurus. There was something else there, so you can see after the Mosasaurus, the lagoon, then you have the Innovation Center. There's the Mosasaurus right there. Look at that one's just so much bigger than so many of the other aquatics. It is someone said having the Mosasaurus is like an event in and of itself in the park, and I kind of agree with that. It's just so much bigger than the other aquatics. It is very special to have in there. But so this pathway goes all the way around, and it feeds up toward the Innovation Center. But if you go this way, there is another enclosure over here. And it's kind of another walking trail sort of thing. So the guests can get really close and walk up by the Diplodocus, the Centausaurus, and Archaeonyphomimus, I think, are the three in here. I'm pretty sure. There's Centausaurus right there. If you're wondering why I'm not using the first-person point of view, by the way, it's because you can't zoom in when you use the first-person point of view, and I really like to be able to zoom in and out like this. Centausaurus, a very cool dinosaur. There's the Archaeonyphomimus. There's several of them in there. Got the log enclosure in the back. Very nice, very nice. There's several Diplodocus in here somewhere. Who would have thought we'd see them first? There's one. See how... I really like the walking trail aesthetic, because the guests are like basically walking right alongside. But the Diplodocus is very cool to me. Very nice. Soon we will have baby Diplodocus in our parks. Very much looking forward to that. Definitely one of the cutest of the baby dinosaurs that I've seen so far is the baby Diplodocus. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, that's that nice big enclosure. then it kind of groups up around the Innovation Center, and we have two small enclosures, as well as the very big plaza area over there. So down here we've got Nodosaurus. Yes, I think this is Nodosaurus. So just two of them, just kind of chilling. Nice little small enclosure here. These guys are very happy to be kind of left alone, it seems, in their smaller enclosures, and I like that. I like having them in these kind of like intermediate or these kind of transition zone areas. And then we also over here have several homalocephali over here. Some of the cutest little dinos in the game. Very nice. Some more. I'm pretty sure, yeah, these little critters are confirmed for Evolution 3. So is Pachycephalosaurus and Stygimoloch. I don't think Dracorex is yet. And I'd be surprised if Dracorex doesn't make it, considering that was kind of a original Jurassic World, one of the first dinosaurs that we hatched. But maybe they will omit it, and maybe they'll make a baby Stygimoloch look like a Dracorex or something. I know that's kind of a paleontological, is that the word? Paleontology debate right now. Kind of interesting. So yeah, a very large plaza area. And before we head over that way, those are our last two big exhibits are the T-Rex, and then there's a big Brachiosaurus, Gallimimus Parasaurolophus tour ride. We've got one more exhibit over here. So there's the Plodicus area right over there. And then so it funnels down this way, and then we have another exhibit with the Metriacanthosaurus over here. There should be 3 of them. I know that you get a Metriacanthosaurus delivered to you on Isla Muerta, but I don't think you actually unlock it until Isla Tucano. Such a cool... the basic Jurassic World Evolution cosmetic with the Bengal stripes and the green on the face is still my favorite, although I do like this blue striped Metriacanthosaurus as well. Such a cool dinosaur. I don't think Metriacanthosaurus is confirmed yet, is it? That would be a bummer if that one doesn't make it at launch. I feel like that one's probably a safe bet to make it in the game, but we'll see. Such a cool dinosaur. Alright, so we'll do T-Rex next, because the Brachiosaurus is like the literal tip of the island. So you can see I used the San Diego, the little Coliseum thing, as part of the exhibit, and there's all these rocks here. This is another one of my favorite exhibits that I made when I was doing these islands, and there's 2 different T-Rexes. I intentionally chose some of the actual Jurassic World Evolution Frontier cosmetics instead of just I wanted to use some of those instead of always just, I normally just pick the film canon cosmetics, so this one's kind of a normal looking green one, nothing too unique, but the other T-Rex is a really cool looking blue one, games. Let's see if we can find that one. And then the monorail goes through the enclosure, and there's a lot of room for them. And then it all funnels down into the Coliseum. Definitely one of my favorite enclosures that I made when I was rebuilding these parks. I really like the shot here with like having them get a drink with the monorail in the background. I could imagine like being a guest and looking down and seeing a T-Rex for the first time and it's getting a drink from the lake. That would be really cool. Where's the blue one? The blue one looks really cool. We need to see the blue one. Not a good sign when you can't find your T-Rex. Is that him? Yes, there we go. Just in time. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, look at... This is... What I like is, this is not one of any of the film canon cosmetics. It's just a cool looking, like, blue T-Rex. Very nice. That's part of the reason why I'm so excited about being able to see the cosmetic preview in the hatchery instead of having to guess what they look like. That is honestly like one of the best features that the third game's gonna have. Anyway, the final exhibit is this massive gyrosphere ride with Parasaurolophus, Gallimimus, and Brachiosaurus, the true OG dinos we got here. Some of my favorite screenshots. I didn't upload that much of it because I didn't want the video to be too long, but I got some really good shots or takes or images of the dinosaurs in this paddock area. It just looks very pretty. Seeing a Brachiosaurus and the Parasaurolophus together with like the ocean in the background, because that's just how this map is designed, with all that water in the background. Where's our Brachiosaurus? I see one. Here's one. So yeah, like you see, like having the ocean kind of frame, even though it's kind of, can't see it as well from here. I picked one of the, is this one sleeping? Yeah, one of the Brachiosaurus, I guess not you. This one's the Jurassic Park 3 variant, the one that I always like to pretend is Giraffatitan instead of Brachiosaurus. I'm not going to be able to see him at all. He's going into the green void. This one's getting the snack. I'm pretty sure the gyrosphere goes all the way around. Yeah. Yeah, it goes all the way back around here, it looks like. There's I think that's the pathway. So this is a really large enclosure. Lots of room. A couple Gallimimus. Some Parasaurolophus to finish things off. Very pretty hadrosaur. Taking a nap. Alright, that is Isla Tucano. Let's see, Isla Pena is next, and let's catch a quick glimpse of the Jurassic Park 3 Brachiosaurus before we move on. Very cool. Anyway, the next map is Isla Pena, which I used the England, United Kingdom map because it was the most islandy. So we're gonna head over there next, and it'll be nighttime for this park. Alright, welcome back to Isla Pena. If I scroll up here just a little bit, you can kind of see why I chose the Britain or United Kingdom map. It's definitely, I think this definitely has the most Isla Pena vibes to it, although this map is definitely bigger. I found that I had plenty of room to build what I wanted to build here. But yeah, let's get started. We've got our landing zone here. I'll have it at nighttime. Maybe I'll put like a brightness filter so hopefully y'all can still see okay. Lots of lighting on this one. I really like how these little street lamps work at night. It looks really cool. Got the Patasaurus fossil. I don't remember what species that fossil is actually, but that's there to greet you. And right away, straight on, I think this is Sauropelta, the little Sauropelta paddock here. Very nice. Again, I really like having these little smaller enclosures in these areas like this. The dinosaurs don't seem to mind. It's a video game. They're not too picky. The ankylosaurs don't need a lot of space. Plus, it's a sandbox park. So, and they've got, quote unquote privacy up here. They can kind of hide up here if they want to. Next up, let's see, where do we want to go next? Let's go over here next. We've got a hotel that you can see from, as well as a viewing dome that lets you pop over here, and we've got the Nigersaurus, the Chasmosaurus, and Pachycephalosaurus all in here together. Oh, are they gonna fight a little bit? Just a little bit. Just a friendly nudge. Yeah, so they're all chilling. I kind of forgot, it was interesting, the Chasmosaurus is like very small compared to a lot of the other ceratopses, just like how the Chunkingosaurus is way smaller than a lot of the other stegosaurs. It was very neat to have the different sizes of the dinosaurs in here. Again, I put the viewing area. Ooh, look, very good viewing opportunity here. Such a cool little guy, little dinosaur. What do you do? You're missing it. No, it's not that way. That's okay. That's all right. Here's the hatchery zone. There's actually nothing in here. This was just like the hatchery spot. And got our big plaza area. That's where the Polacanthus is. And we've got a really cool Suchomimus enclosure over here. I put some neat Spinosaur signage. And we've got 3 Suchomimus in here. This one's cool because it kind of gives the illusion that it's an open paddock, even though it's not, it is closed off. But the angle of how they're viewing kind of makes it look like it doesn't have a fence. And I put some rocks to block off the rest of the fence. Suchomimus is also not confirmed for Evolution 3 at this moment. I hope it makes it in. If not, I'm sure it'll get added at some point. I'm trying too hard to not focus on the roster because I know that I'm sure that it was a lot of work to add all the baby dinosaurs, and they might just genuinely not have everything 100% done in time for the release date of the game. And I'd much rather get the game this October than the game. I feel like it was originally slated for like next year, 2027. So maybe that was like their timetable initially. So I'd rather get the game in 2026 personally, but that's just me. Anyway, pretty cool Suchomimus enclosure. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Spino skull in front of the viewing gallery. Let's see, and then there's our monorail is going to take us to the next section of the park. But first, we've got a cool little Stegosaur statue, and then Stegosaurus isn't here, but we do have, in this giant, big corner of the park, we do have Kentrosaurus and Camarasaurus, and I think that's it. I think it's just them in here. Some J-Pog buddies back together again. Camarasaurus and Kentrosaurus. Is Camarasaurus not confirmed yet either? I don't think Camarasaurus is confirmed yet either. I really hope Camarasaurus is in the base game, because we need all of the smaller sauropods available, because there's already not that many smaller sauropods in the game. There's Kentrosaurus. This is the Camp Cretaceous variant, I think. They both look really cool. This one definitely looks a little more imposing, I think, though. Kentrosaurus is another dinosaur that has some really cool cosmetics, especially with the Camp Cretaceous version. And we've got our cool viewing log, getting to see the Camarasauruses together. Very nice, very nice. Alright, so let's take the monorail to our next section of the park, and that's where we have the aviary and the lagoon. The lagoon's got Kronosaurus in here, got another plaza, and I think there's 2 Kronosaurus in here, if I remember correctly. Maybe just 1. Here's 1. Maybe it is just 1. Kronosaurus is confirmed, which is cool. I'm glad. I'm never gonna not be glad if a species is confirmed in the game. So there's that too, I guess. They about to... Where'd he go? Is he heading this way? Is it food time? It might be food time. think it's food time. Very nice, very nice. We've had some good timing with our aquatic reptiles. Let's head over to the Thanatos Dracon aviary. Oh look, they're all on top of the guest area right now. Look at that. I'm sure that there is absolutely no poop dripping onto our guests right now, right? I'm sure that's definitely the case. Good, good, good. Such a cool flying reptile. Kind of a bummer that it's deluxe edition, but hey, I got the deluxe edition because I'm gonna play the game a lot probably, so you will see this dude in my videos. What I like about the Thanatos Dracon is it's just the right size where it's clearly a big flying reptile, but it also doesn't look out of place like the Quetzalcoatlus does. Like, the Quetzalcoatlus looks too big. Thanatos Dracon is just the right size where it doesn't look too big. Okay, so our final area I nicknamed the High Hide. That's Eddie's hiding spot in the Lost World. And this has our top security threat dinosaurs. We've got the Indominus Rex, the Giganotosaurus, and the Atrociraptor. So let's go see this nice big plaza area here, and it's kind of like lifted up in the air too, so it's kind of elevated. All the enclosures are kind of on a downslope like this, so it kind of fits the high hide, and there's lots of kind of like construction looking decorations and stuff. Here's our Atrociraptors. These are confirmed, I'm pretty sure, for Evolution 3. And let's see if we can find the Giganotosaurus that's in here somewhere. And then there she is, sleeping over here. I went with the InGen instead of the Jurassic World Dominion Giganotosaurus, just to kind of fit the, that was what was unlocked, and we didn't have the Dominion Giganotosaurus in Jurassic World Evolution 1, so I just kind of went with the generic green one with the, oh, look at how big the eyes are. That's like low-key kind of creepy, but in a cool way. So yeah, I'm not even 100% sure if like this variant of Giganotosaurus will be in Jurassic World Evolution 3 at launch. The preview just shows the Dominion Giga at this point in time. I'd certainly like to have both. I actually really like this version of the Giganotosaurus. I honestly, like, if sometimes I like to pretend that this is the Carcharodontosaurus, and then I use the Dominion Giganotosaurus as Giganotosaurus. My only gripe with this one is its eyes are just a little too big. You could probably make the eyes a little smaller. Alright, and last but certainly not least is the Indominus Rex. So we have lots of cool little kind of security-themed decorations over here. We've got our big watchtower, and I chose the all-black, the Venom-looking Indominus Rex that I think you had to complete Isla Nublar on Jurassic Challenge Mode in Jurassic World Evolution 1 to get this cosmetic. Oh wait, I went like all black with like some orange stripes or something. But it looks really cool. I'm not sure. Hopefully we will get a good shot of the Indominus. There she is. And I'm pretty sure Isla Pena is when you unlock the Indominus Rex. I'm pretty sure, if not, the island definitely fits the vibe of being, that's the proper island to put that dinosaur on. Hybrid dinosaur. That concludes Isla Tucano. Let's wrap things up with a trip back to Isla Sorna, which I used the Isla Nublar 2015, which was like, this was the map that you did the, it's kind of like the Jurassic World Evolution 1 Isla Nublar map, but it's also not that map, but it's kind of like that one. I'm pretty sure it's meant to replicate, like, no, it's the same map that you do the Chaos Theory Jurassic World on anyway. Alright, last stop on Las Cinco Muertes 2.0 tour is Isla Sorna, which, well, technically this is Isla Nublar, but we're pretending it's Isla Sorna. That's just how it goes. So right away, you got the cool Jurassic Park gate. I'm pretty sure there's, like, the facility building is fixed on this map, and I'm pretty sure I tried to delete it and it literally wouldn't let me delete it, so I had to run a path from there. Good luck walking down that. That looks safe. So anyway, right away you've got 3 pathways. Are you gonna go this way? And that way is like Megalodon. And the plaza straight ahead is the Jurassic Tour ride and the giant Stegosaurus Jurassic era paddock. Or the correct option is go right to see Spino in all his splendor. Spino gets his own big water-filled enclosure with the backdrop of this super cool, I guess, mountains or cliff face. Having the cliff face in the background for this map is super cool. That's one of the things that I like about these maps more than the square maps, is the backgrounds, or like just the stuff in the background outside of the map is very cool. Where did Spino go? I saw him for like a split second. There's a lot of I gave Spino a lot of forested area, and now I'm coming to regret it. There's Spino. Took you long enough. So one thing that I think is really cool about Jurassic World Evolution 3 is that the Spinosaurus will just get fish out of the deep water. It's not going to need this fish feeder thing, which I'm pretty excited about, because I've always... I mean, I never minded it, but it always just kind of seemed weird to have these... I don't know, this little fish feeder for Spinosaurus. Like I said, I don't mind it, I just like what they're doing in Evolution 3 more. That just seems like a cooler idea. Oh yes, right there. Alright, let's leave Spino to his business, and I think let's go see the... So if we head over here, the Jurassic Tour takes you around the whole park, which I thought was kind of one of my better ideas for the parks that I rebuilt. But let's go ahead and take a gander at the big Jurassic Era exhibit with Stegosaurus, multiple Stegosaurus, Apatosaurus, Dryosaurus, and Gigantspinosaurus are all in here. This is a very large enclosure. Lots of dinos in here. Again, I didn't realize how small. Look at how tiny Gigantspinosaurus is compared to Stegosaurus in this game. You can barely breathe above the water. It's just interesting, you don't really notice the difference until they're in the same together. Got little Dryosaurus, little green dude, and some Apatosaurus as well. Lots of viewing angles for this enclosure since it's so large. We got a viewing platform there, the viewing log, the gallery over there. Look at how cool the backdrop is. I just love the cliff face in the background. Such a cool thing that is relatively exclusive to this map. I don't know of that many other ones that have that dramatic of a backdrop for you. Dryosaurus. Very nice. So let's kind of hitch a ride on the Jurassic Tour, and we'll head out this way. So you do drive right by the Spinosaurus paddock, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if the guest can quote-unquote see Spino from here, like if it's in the visibility cone, but we can see Spino through the gates, through the fence, which is pretty cool. And then we have another really large herbivore enclosure. This one has Dreadnoughtus, Pentaceratops, Ouranosaurus, and Muttaburrasaurus. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure that Dreadnoughtus, I think I might have unintentionally flip-flopped Dreadnoughtus and Mamenchisaurus. I actually think Mamenchisaurus is unlocked on Isla Sorna, and Dreadnoughtus is maybe on a different island in Jurassic World Evolution 1, but oh well. Pentaceratops I know for sure was on Isla Sorna because I almost never used it because you unlock it so late, and I regret that because this is one of the coolest ceratopsians in the game, and I've hardly ever hatched any until I made some for this park. Another, just like Torosaurus, this guy's got some really cool cosmetics. Muttaburrasaurus is over here. One of my favorites just because it's kind of fills a niche of a kind of smaller hadrosaur type dinosaur. Plus it's an Australian dinosaur and it has some really good cosmetics, so it's just all around a really cool dinosaur to have. And then Ouranosaurus is in here too. Another really cool looking Muttaburrasaurus right here. So you look at these Pentaceratops cosmetics with this like orange and yellow and purple. It's like dark green and orange. These guys are so cool looking. Dreadnoughtus. This is the Dominion variant, which I definitely prefer over the engine Dreadnoughtus. That's another one I don't think has been confirmed, but since it's a canon dinosaur, it's practically confirmed. They seem to be really focusing on the canon species. We'll see though. And then Ouranosaurus, so cute. Such a cool dinosaur. I got to see a Ouranosaurus skeleton in real life one time, and you don't realize how big the hadrosaurs were. I imagine that they were not quote-unquote easy prey. They were big. Very cool. Very cool dinosaurs. Alright, so the tour takes you out this way, and then you kind of land in this little plaza area. So you can see there's another viewpoint for the Stegosaur enclosure down that way. Then the ride continues along that direction. But we are going to take a little stroll down to see Pteranodon over here. Yes, lots of Pteranodon flyers. Haha, see what I did there? Haha. And we've got the Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons as well as the Jurassic World Pteranodons in here. Very cool, kind of a bit of sexual dimorphism stuff, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. It's just also neat to see both of them. The Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons are just so cool. Minus the teeth. That's pretty sure that's like 100% paleontologically, whatever the word is, incorrect. That the Pteranodon's having the serrated teeth. That's I'm pretty sure that's incorrect. Like I said before, I'm really looking forward to having the flying reptiles be able to walk around in their enclosure. I think that will just really bring a lot of life to them that they currently are. I mean, they're still really cool to and on their own right now, but it'll just really liven them up even more so, I think. Super cool Pteranodon. Super cool creature. Not technically a dinosaur, but oh well. When you ask people who aren't dinosaur nerds, what's your favorite dinosaur? A lot of them will say pterodactyl. And it's like, well, pterodactyl doesn't exist, but you probably meant pteranodon, and oh, that's not a dinosaur. So you effectively just killed the vibe really bad. So we'll just pretend that pteranodon is pterodactyl and that it's a dinosaur, so that we can talk about dinosaurs. Alright, so, as you can see, the tour keeps going on to another checkpoint further that way, but there's also a walking trail, and so we're gonna hit up the next exhibit, which is Utahraptor. And so this is their enclosure. There they are. What are they doing? Are they coming to get some food? Utahraptor in Jurassic World Evolution is probably one of the absolute best dinosaurs that Frontier has designed. That was one of the first dinosaurs that they confirmed was going to be in Evolution 3 at launch, and I'm really glad they did. This is such... Utahraptor is cool, and their version of it is really, really cool. I mean, it is like just straight up one of the best video game media, whatever. It doesn't even have to be a video game, just media in general, interpretations of a dinosaur, period, let alone a cool dinosaur like Utahraptor. So yeah, I'm done talking about that. Utahraptor's really cool, and it's in my Isla 2.0 park as well. Right down the street, we've got Majungasaurus, which, as you can see, I'm trying to, like, make the exhibits look kinda, you know, fortified or whatever with some rocks. Let me know if you think I pulled it off or if it's not doing it for you. Got a nice big, like, rocky area in the background. Soon to be waterfalls literally everywhere. I'm gonna be able to make something 10 times better than that in like 10 seconds in Jurassic World Evolution 3. So that's pretty cool. Majungasaurus has not been confirmed yet, I don't think. Pretty cool. A Belisaurid. So let's see, Carnotaurus and Majungasaurus are the only two Abelisaurids in the game and at the moment, so we'll see. I could see them holding off on Majungasaurus just because it's kind of a weird rig, because it's such a like low to the ground long dinosaur compared to some of the other ones. Isn't Majungasaurus in like Chaos Theory? I feel like I could see them holding off and putting it in like a Chaos Theory bundle with like some specific skins or something. We'll see. I like Majungasaurus a lot. It wouldn't break my heart if it didn't make the base roster though, to be honest. This, though, is a really cool looking cosmetic. Look at this guy. Like, honestly, possibly, like, this could be a top 10 best cosmetic in all of Jurassic World Evolution 2 right here. Such a cool looking dude. Alright, so here's my, you know, another kind of basic little plaza area. You can actually kind of see the tour from the plaza area. There's the bus going down, and there's the Stegosaurus Jurassic era enclosure, so you can see that from multiple angles. But we're not done. We're still got one more big enclosure over here, and here is Deinonychus. So this was not unlocked at all in Jurassic World Evolution 1 because it wasn't in it, but I know this is like a fan favorite. It's another one of those, like, the Deinonychus, Utyrannus, and the Utah Raptor. All those feathered dinosaurs are all, like, no joke, just 10 out of 10 dinosaurs that they put in this game. So I really wanted to put Deinonychus in one of my Las Cinco Muertes 2.0 parks, and it made its way to in at Isla. This guy truly is the big bird. It's such a cool dinosaur. Very cool. The feathers look great, like 10 out of 10. Hopefully it makes it into Jurassic World Evolution 3 at launch. If not, you know, I'm sure it'll be in the game at some point, because it's definitely a fan favorite, and it's a great Big Red does not share food, apparently. Alright, I think we've got 2 enclosures left. So we've got the hatchery zone. This time I actually put dinosaurs in it, and it's Sauropelta, which is confirmed for Evolution 3. I honestly, I like Sauropelta a lot. I think that the shoulder spikes make it really unique among the ankylosaurs. Just a chubby little dude with some cool shoulder spikes. And so before we get to Megalodon, that's the last enclosure, so here's where the tour links up. Here is the big plaza. I think I made this is the biggest plaza of all the parks, and this was right after they added those cool dinosaur integration network statues. So we've got Triceratops, we've got Stegosaurus, and we've got T-Rex statues at our Isla Sorna 2.0 park. And just to kind of bring it full circle, there is our entrance that we came by earlier. There's Spino over there. And so here, this would be if we had went left instead of going straight to Spino. We've got a nice little hotel zone over here that links up with the Lagoon Hatchery. Innovation Center. Pathway leads toward these dual viewing areas for Megalodon. It's also shaped like a arrowhead, which I kind of just did by accident, but I thought it looked really cool. And there they are, the 2 chonky sharks. Let's go say hi. So Megalodon is also confirmed for Evolution 3 at launch, which is very nice. It's very, very cool. It's gonna... They're gonna socialize with each other here. Yep. Little bite or whatever that was. This one just I made to look like the classic, you know, like the great white with some stripes, and then the other one I gave some more. I don't know which one I like more. This one looks more kind of like a whale shark with the dots, which I kind of like. But then this one looks more like the like just a giant great white shark. So both of them look very cool because they are cool. And that is the conclusion of my Las Cinco Muertes 2.0 The 5 Deaths Park Tour. Which island was your favorite? Which exhibit was your favorite? If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I don't know how many more videos I'm gonna do before Jurassic World Evolution 3 comes out. I might do a video on the roster. If the full roster comes out, I might do one video on that. But yeah, this might be one of the last videos before Evolution 3 comes out. My favorite park that I remade was probably... The overall park was probably, maybe the Isla Pena Park, just because it was narrow and it felt like I was trying to make it, I don't know, I'm not sure. It might be Isla Tucano, because that was the one where I kind of tried to go all out with the exhibit design, because I felt like that was the luxury resort park of the Las Cinco Muertes. But my favorite individual exhibit is definitely the Tiger Raptor one on Isla Muerta 2.0. But yeah, I'd probably say my favorite island overall that I remade was the Tucano 2.0. But anyway, I hope that y'all enjoyed this tour. Maybe, you know, I don't think we're getting the actual 5 Death Islands in Evolution 3 at launch, but part of me wonders if maybe that could be like a DLC campaign idea. Like, here's the 5 deaths, build 5-star parks on all of them. It's basically just the Las Cinco Muertes campaign all over, but I don't know if people would like that. But, worst case scenario, I'll just make Las Cinco Muertes 3.0 in Evolution 3. There's a chance I might have to wait a little bit before the entire Evolution roster is in the game, though. There's a chance I might have to wait for that. But we'll see. I really enjoyed this. This gave me like a reason to build parks, and it also gave me a specific list of dinosaurs that I wanted, instead of just I feel like sometimes people try to fit all the dinosaurs in one park, and that has its place, but I would rather make a really cozy, well-spaced out park with less species than a really congested park with all the species. And basically just saying, alright, this is what was unlocked on Isla Muerta, Isla Mountain-Ceros, Isla whatever. That's what's going to be in the park. And then plus, you know, I want to add one aquatic and one flying, and then maybe like one bonus dinosaur per island. That was a really nice way for me to just have a list of species that I put in each park. So just something for y'all to consider if you're you know, looking for some inspiration but also don't want to get overwhelmed with, you know, trying to fit all the species in one park. Just something to think about. Anyway, thank y'all again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time in the park.